Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gaming Weekly Update. This is your host Kieran, and welcome to this video where I actually show you how I live stream or capture footage for the Nintendo Switch, and to prove to people that the Switch is not emulated, because the amount of times that I have live streamed Switch games, or I've Let's Played Switch games for that matter, there's at least one person that keeps coming into the chat asking me, is this emulated? How did you emulate it? Well, there's one answer for you, buddy.
It is not emulated.
Everything you saw, it's captured by a capture card that I've got built into my PC. It's a real hardware captured through the HDMI cable from my Switch all the way to the PC. So it's not emulated. It's not programmed in a way that I've hacked it or whatever. Nope, it's a real hardware connected to a capture card. I'm even going to show you like what it is, how I've plugged it in, and the settings that I've used. So I'll show you the footage of the PC with the capture card right now. And here we are now. You see that color there that's glowing multiple colors? That's the capture card. The capture card that I have is an Evermedia Live Gamer Duo. Basically, it's got two input ports and it's got one output. The output port is mainly for displaying it on the TV, and the two inputs, there's input 1, which is for your console, and input 2, which is for, like, say, like you've got a camcorder that you can use as your webcam, basically. So it's pretty cool, that, actually. Now, here is the back of the PC. You can see it has HDMI in and it has HDMI 2. HDMI in 1 is in the middle, HDMI in 2 is at the far left, and HDMI out is at the far right. So to plug the Switch to this, you've got to plug the HDMI cable into HDMI in 1. Like so. And then the other end of the HDMI, you just plug it into the HDMI port at the back of your Switch dock. As you can see right here. You just plug it into there. You're probably wondering, this Switch dock, that's not the base one. Well, I got a different one because not only is it convenient just to put stuff in, like, it's got a LAN port, as you can see right here, where my finger's at. So as I said, you just plug the HDMI cable in like so. Now, I do have the original Switch dock, but like I said, I got the other one because it's a LAN port. But either way, it doesn't matter which dock you use, as long as your dock can sit the Switch on it and it has a HDMI cable behind it, that's really all that matters to get this to work. So from here, what do we do next? Right. This is mainly if you want to capture the footage and stuff. Like, Brad would probably benefit from this, but yeah, as you can see, you download an app called Evermedia ReCentral 4. So you open that up, and I'll even walk through the settings of what I use for this. As you can see, there's the game. Now, what are my settings here? Basically, first off, we come to this cog here, go to General, and enable VSync to improve video smoothness. That's how I prefer it, because without this, at least for me anyway, I see screen tearing every time that this is disabled, so I enable it so that it keeps the video looking very smooth. So coming back to this here, like, to get the sound, you've got to click to where it says audio mixer, and then by default, this is going to be put as mute, so you want to do that. So you want to tick your output. Let me just turn that down. Right, so you want to tick your output, which is my TV, so make sure that's ticked. And then for this, if one's off, as you can hear, make sure both of these are ticked so that you can hear the game audio, as you can hear. And that's it for the audio. So from here, you can control your game volume, as you can hear. What this is here, HDR, if you've got a console that supports HDR, like PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series S or X, like, this basically enables you to use the HDR graphics in that console if it supports it. So only enable that if your console enables HDR, which the Nintendo Switch doesn't, so we're not going to really worry about that. But you just click it and it'll say HDR. As you can see, it doesn't change because Switch is not supported for that. But PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S will, so if you want HDR and it supports it, just have that ticked. But because we don't have that, I'm just going to leave it off and I'm going to keep that muted while I explain everything else. And if you've got all these like enabled, like ticked and everything, and you still have problems, you can't hear the sound, there's a very simple fix for that. All you have to do is just unplug the HDMI cable from the back of the Switch and then back into the console. And then for some reason that works. I don't know why, but yeah, that does. So what we do here, it's plugged into Live Gamer Duo 1, as you saw from the start. Let me just put that big screen. So it's plugged into here. If you were using a camera, it would be showing up on this screen here. But I've got nothing plugged into that so far, so we'll just focus on this. People are more focused on the capturing the game. So click this edit here. So what I do for this anyway, the settings I use, like we put decode format as P010. Then here, this is usually ticked, but you untick it so you can do it yourself. So we've got, put it all the way up to 1080p and the highest frame rate, which is 60 FPS. And this here is like the color thing. So we can, as you can see, if you press expanded, it goes to like a gray type color here. So either automatic or standard. I like to keep it either automatic or standards, but standard is what I probably would put it at. This here you can mess about with, see if you can match the color of the actual console, but it looks fine there, I know. So we can go out here, then we can go here. So what this does, there's your codec. Like, so this is NVIDIA. Look, select that as H265, HEVC. This one you don't really need to mess with, just leave that as main. Put this as the 1080p, put this as 60 FPS, put this as 150, and just leave these ones. You don't really need to do much. Put that as high quality if you've got a high quality capture card. Audio bitrate, like, just put it as that. And these two you don't really need to touch. So from here, like, basically you can just use this. It's like your main gaming monitor. Like for the console, you don't even need two separate monitors. This is how I do it anyway. And before I go to the next bit, as you can see, like, you can control the volume here. And also, if you click this, you go into full screen. Just give the bottom bit a little bit more time to finish. And there you go. You can just play this at full screen. Then you can use the mouse, like, to see there's a capture here. There's full screen extension, start recording, audio mixer, and close full screen. You can also close full screen by clicking escape. So yep, that is very handy to have. And what's also cool about this capture card as well is that there is literally, as you can see, I'll even make Mario jump here. Try to display it as much as I can. I can't see my monitor at the moment as well. But yep. There's no input lag whatsoever. So that is why I like the AverMedia capture card. Now, there are other ones, but the problem is not all of them like have the zero latency thing as the AverMedia does. So make sure you do some research online and see which one would actually benefit you. I'll leave the link in the description for the capture card that I use so that you get a rough idea of what doing. And now for the main event. How do we get it set up in OBS? So very straightforward. So what we do is that we right click here. We go to add, go to where it says video capture device, click OK. And then right here, you want to select Live Gamer Duo 1. Made a mistake. Let me just put that here. And then, like, so you can see everything. Okay, so that was this device here. So let's go to properties. There's two ways that you can sort this out here. There is either right here. I'll show you which one I use in a second. You can either leave it at that, and you can go to where it says video capture, advanced audio properties, find that one where it says, I think it's 8. Right, and then you go to where it says monitor and output. So you can now hear the game output. So as you can hear, that is the game audio. But the setting that I use, which I'm going to show you just now, so I'll turn that down to a sec. So we go back to properties. The setting I like to do is output desktop audio. So basically what that does is that it plays the audio for you, but it plays it on my desktop audio here. So you can hear it. The highest volume here. And you can't hear it when I turn it all the way down. But the thing is, I turn the volume down for you, but I can still hear the game audio, so... So, yep. you can control the game audio here. So, yep. And if you want to get into more detail about this, like the video settings, like want to make it look nice, this is the setting I use if I was doing this on OBS, which I always do, which is from here you can select on, I'm just making sure you can see that, yep, from here select where it says device default, then put where it says custom. So you can't see the game here, and I know you can't, but don't worry about that. It's because it doesn't know what resolution to sort it as, so you've just got to fix it for it, because we set it as 1080p, so you just select 1080p, and there it is. Match output FPS, so you want to select 60, it depends on how good your PC is, so because I got a 3060 Ti and a 9900K CPU, like I can select at 60. Video format, I like to select XRGB. Like color space, don't need to touch that. Color range, you can mess about with that if you like. I like to put it at full. Buffering, you don't really need to do much with it. And yeah, I think that's about it. So yep. And that is the game captured. So from there, what I usually do, because like I said, you can still hear that audio, because I would hear it at this volume, but you would hear it if I turned it down here. Doesn't matter how low I turn it down for you, I can still hear the game, but you can't. You can hear it when I turn this up. So how I say, like, I've got the chat open here, like I open YouTube like Studio for this, like so I can preview my stream there, and the chat would be here. So when the chat's here, how I do that, I right click where that game is, and I go to window project. So yeah, I'll show you that again. Right click here, go down to where it says window projector source, and there's the game. So say like the chat window is here, for example, this whole section here. Just shape the window here to as much as possible as you like. So yep, let me put that here. So say like the chat's here, for example. So we put it to about here. So I can see all this, and the chat's here at the side. So yep, hopefully that's me proven enough that it's not emulated. And for more further proof, I'll even show you this. Right, you can just about see it enough. So there it is. So if I take my Switch off the dock, for example, I take my Switch off the dock, it stops displaying the game. And you can see that it's the same scenario here. So if I put it back on the dock, the game comes straight back. So there you go. It is not emulated. Hopefully I've proved that enough, because oh, the amount of people that say to me, oh, you've emulated this. I was like, nope, it's not. As you can see, it is not emulated. For you lot, however, like if I was live streaming this, like my face cam would be here, and the game, I would right click it and put transform. That would go fit to screen. So it's like that. So yep. Let me just put the game audio on for you so you can hear it. There we go. So that's the game audio, and that's how I live stream Nintendo Switch games. So that is going to conclude the video. So thank you so much for watching, and as per usual, if you liked what you've seen, please like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to hit the bell if you want to see any more videos or any more live streams that me or Brad produce on his channel. I've been Kieran of Gaming Weekly Update, and we will see you in the next video or live stream. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.